Okay, everybody, let's help Keen out. Ready, set, pitch!
Good morning, everyone. My name is Keen. I'm from Tectonus from New Zealand. So, earthquakes is a problem that we solve. Obviously, well, let's take a case of 2011 Japanese earthquake. It caused $300 billion in damage. It caused months, 2 years of damage. Some people are still evacuating, and the damage coverage by insurance was only 11%. And we've identified as a structural engineers that the problem actually lied in the structures collapsing, even with the current technologies of the seismic devices. So our value proposition, by providing the innovative resilient slip friction joint, we provide resiliency in structures, bringing them back into its original position, saving lives and businesses also. It's a protection for earthquakes and aftershocks as well, so that we recenter the whole building. So two things to remember with our technology: energy damping and self-centering. The other technologies don't recenter, and because of that, it requires very expensive costs and time to repair. Our technology recenters the whole building, meaning that it requires no repair, and there is less downtime as well. The government has funded the project with $3.5 million in research funding, and the patent is filed in 10 countries also. So with that in mind, we are right now at a nail to scale transition mode. So we have a very unique technology to start off by saying about the growth vectors. Very unique technology that's fittable in the new and retrofit buildings of any size and any material. No repair required, which means that it's very, very cost effective. And the market size is huge. Retrofit buildings, new buildings, I mean, the construction industry itself is huge itself. We have above 50% gross margin. The technology is being developed by Tectonus, and we also have two more technologies similar to this being commercialized, patented right now. The team is very strong. We have international credibility. Our CEO is a professor of the university, internationally renowned. And the business model has been validated. It's a very simple sales channel that we only target to the structural engineers who are the key decision makers of the of what technology goes into the project. And we have 5 projects that we've won already. And the pipeline looks very healthy. With the international demand starting to happen, we think that our scaling goal has to be, first of all, internationalization. And with more projects coming in, we need to expand on our manufacturing capability. So with the international presence, we've identified that we need to get into the west coast of North America. And we did that by assessing the market, and that's what we've done to validate our market strategy. And secondly, we also need to validate the business model within that market settings. So what we've done is replicated the business model. We've downsized what we've done in New Zealand and brought it to Vancouver. We've pitched to many structural engineering firms, received good feedback, and we've also won one project there. So now what we need to do, with that in mind, we need to expand on this business model to Canada and the US. So how to do that? We will be recruiting more sales engineers, and later on, if this doesn't work, there are backup plans where we can find distribution partners to expand on our market size and also segment to different applications, for example, to the residential markets or pallet racking or bridges, whatever. And secondly, manufacturing expansion. We've identified for us to prepare to get more projects, more mass producing, we need to increase the efficiency of our processes. And that means we need to establish the present processes that had never existed before. And first of all, we have successfully identified what processes that we need to establish to be able to deliver the projects that we get. So for example, the quotation to manufacturing stage is done very ad hoc right now. So that's one area that we identified that needs some sort of processifying, and also the ERP software to manage the inventory as well. With that in mind, our next step is going to be to hire the chief operating officer who has the experience of establishing such warehouse and inventory management, operations management. And also, our CEO is currently quite busy, occupied with the university issues. And with that, we need to make sure the culture stays and that everything is approachable and everything is controlled. So we will be trying to set up the executive managers dealing with the department of its own, and leaving the CEO to orchestrate the whole company and guiding the company through the vision. So with that in mind, we really need investment to support the strategies, and we need the capital to be raised in the US. So help us to connect.
Mark?
Yeah, no. So taking a few notes, I unfortunately have not had the opportunity to work with you much so far, so it's really very interesting to hear more about it. First thing that strikes me is it's extremely professional looking deck. It's very nice. Well done on that. Seems like you've nailed the problem. I don't know a ton about tectonics and all those sorts of scientific terms, but you seem very confident about it, which makes me feel good about you being well aware of the problem and then obviously the solution. And that goes to the other note, just your general knowledge base around the problem seems very strong. The benefits are clear. You also have very clear next steps, which I think is very good. And from what I gathered there very quickly, and it certainly makes sense that you're focusing in on operations as you scale your manufacturing and working on processes. And so I think it was all very on point in my opinion. Very well done.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, both Keen and Mark. Let's look at the report by you through the lens of the curriculum. You indicated that you are crossing from the nailing stage to the scaling stage. This is fantastic, but it is essential for you to describe why. It is important for your board to understand why you're making the transition and what are the signs of the transition. Some signs of a transition from nailing to scaling could be your customers are beginning to be repeatable. The next customer looks similar to the previous customer, right? There is similarity in pattern. Another marker of a transition from nailing to scaling is decreasing sales cycle. It's taking you less and less to sell your projects. Another sign of the transition is inbound outreach, when companies reach out to you with requests for your technology. Another sign of the transition could be lack of negotiation. Companies do not negotiate a lot with you in terms of the price that you are charging, right? These are the signs that you have nailed it.
Sure.
And it is important for you to emphasize to the board what is working.
Sure.
Right? Because your team needs to align around what's working and to continue repeating and making that better, right? So this would be something that I would build on through the lens of our curriculum. But congratulations to you, and I'm very excited to see you. Obviously I will not be there, but to see you presenting to your team.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jack.